This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
We ask Rav Brudny Shlita give divrei psicha.
Kvaid Moran, Sheshiva Shlita, Maranam Abana, Doile Torah, Mabitze Torah, Talmidei HaYeshivas. Really, one could paraphrase the pasuk, Tzali Voroini, Yosheves Brooklyn, that we were zoiche to such a special moment. Vahi b'shur and melech v'yisasef Roshei Yom Yachad Shiftei Yisrael, the Olam HaTorah of Brooklyn, the Bnei HaTorah, the future of Klal Yisrael, with their Rebbeim, welcoming one of the Manhigei Ador, both here and in Eretz Yisrael, and being zoiche to be able to be mekabel hadrocha in such turbulent times, in such hesteponimdike times, to get hadrocha and ashkafa bohira for us to know how to rise and take advantage of this man in which we're living. It's not for me to explain to the Olam the significance of the Rosh Hashiva addressing us and joining us. But I can only say that growing up as a young yeshiva bacher like you here in New York, it was already carved to, for sure, 65 years ago, when in my childish understanding, Masay Hagia Maisai, at that time, the Olam HaTorah knew the Rosh Hashiva Zal Gesund Sein was from the Getzelte Talmidei V'Muvhakim h'mamשיך Darkoi of Rabbeinu HaGadol, the Lakewood Yeshiva Zeichet Tzaddik Levracha. And that was then. And so many Asoros Bashanim, Loirich Yomim Bashanim, Toivos have passed. And today is literally Mamshich Darkoi. I just want to give a shtickle understanding. Next Sunday, I think, is going to be the yard site of Rabbi Saul Salanta. Everybody in the room knows what it means, Rabbi Saul Salanta, to a Ben Torah. What Rabbi Saul Salanta established, the tzuris of the yeshivas, the hasogis of the Olam HaTorah. The Yeshivas Zal Gesund Sein is a mekabel Talmud Muvik of the Lakewood Yeshiva, Yibadol L'chaim Tovim. The Lakewood Yeshiva was from the Gedoylei HaMekabelim, from the Alta from Slabotka. Zeichet Tzaddik Levracha. The Alta from Slabotka was from the Gedoylei HaMekabelim of Rabbi Saul Salanta. So uns Amerikaner Bachrim have an opportunity today to stell to 3 steps in the Shalshelas HaKabbalah to Rabbi Yisrael Salanta. The Reshivah Rav Aaron, the Alta of Slabotka, Rabbi Yisrael Salanta. It's an incredible moment. We're thankful to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and we're thankful to the Reshivah for allowing us this moment. The Gemara says in Kedushin Daf Lamed, Kol HaMelamed is ben benoi Torah kilu kirvo lifnei Har Sinai. This is the week of Maimid Har Sinai and Kabbalah HaTorah. Pushing ourselves a step further in the Kabbalah from Sinai is a whole different Kabbalah Torah. We have an opportunity now. Let's use it. Let's grow from it. And let's take it all wish. And ask the Rebbeinu Shalom, Yomim al Yemei Melech Toisif Shneisot K'moi Dor V'Dor. I just want to say one point. How did this Asifa come to be? That's also something we should be learning. There's a Gemara in Baba Basra. And the Pasuk, Al Kein Yomru HaMoishlim Bo Cheshboin. It's a good Pasuk in Pashas Chukas. And the Torah goes on and says, Ki Eish Yoitzis Mecheshboin. And the Gemara says a drosha. Eish Yoitzis Mechashvim. And Toichal She'ene Mechashvim. And the Rashbam explains, that's the Nichve Mechupase Shel Chaveroi. The chuppah of a Mechashvim is embarrasses and is nichve on Eina Mechashvim. I know of one Yid that heard that the Slabotka of Yeshiva Shlita is going to be in America for 2 weeks. How could we get that the Yeshiva Light, the Shiva Bacharim from Brooklyn, the Bnei HaTorah, the Bnei Aliyah should be able to, in one place, gather and hear the Dvar Hashem? And V'lo yishkoi ta'ish, he made it happen. Because a mechashvim, a person that goes around always thinking, what could I do for Kvod Shemayim? What could I do for Kvod HaTorah? What could I do for my fellow Ben Torah, for my fellow Yid? Is from the mechashvim. Eish yoitzis mechashvim. Miminoi eish das lomoi. The Eish HaTorah that we're going to be witnessing now comes from people that are mechashvim. Let's also be mechashvim. Let's also think machshavas b'toivasam shel chavereinu, b'toivasam shel kvod shemayim, b'toivasam shel klal Yisrael. Ask that the Yeshiva should address us, and we should all be zoiche to be makabel, the maximum that we could be able to be makabel out of these holy moments that we're going to spend with the Yeshiva.
Rishus Shiva Shlita, Abonim, the Shishivas, Chol Oilam, so Klal Oilam HaYeshivas, Bocherim, Kamad, every bacher starts off, I want to learn. I want to learn. He makes up time to learn, gewaldig. And very, very often, he finds that it's very hard for him to learn. He doesn't find a geschmack in the learning. Difficult for him to learn. Some bochum push themselves more and more and more and more. There are many bochum who have a geschmack in learning and become steig very much, but there are many bochum who don't have it. And some bochum who don't have it eventually stop learning. And why is that? Tikudli Hashem Yisholim B'samchei Leiv. Torah should be learned. You learn Torah. It's supposed to be B'samchei Leiv. The person should learn Torah. You should have simcha. How is it that we don't have all the time simcha from the Tikudli Hashem Yisholim? The answer is that Tikudli Hashem Yisholim give simcha only to a certain type of person. Like there are certain types of foods that only special type of people can eat it and understand and feel the goodness of the food. Lahavdu. I'd like to bring 3 points that we find in Chazal, Sifrei Chazal, that's necessary in order for a person to have the geschmack in learning and to have the full mile of the learning. There are 3 points which are brought in Chazal. Chazal say in Mesech Haskein atzmecho lilmod Torah. Prepare yourself, fix yourself up to learn Torah. Haskein atzmecho. V'takein et atzmecho. What are the haskein atzmecho lilmod Torah? Rabbeinu Yonah says, Yesh b'chlal haskein atzmecho l'ma'et b'tanugim. To minimize in tanugim, kidei shilmod Torah harbe. K'mo sheshoninu, kach idako shel Torah pas hamelech toichal, u'bayim b'mesura tishte, v'al orez tishon. The derech of Torah is dark of pas hamelech toichal, mayim b'mesura, small amount of water. V'chaytza hatichye, v'toyat omer, ki amar be'idunim, the person is mar be'idunim, lo tishkoim b'soicho ha'chochma. Chochma will not go into him. Chochma of the Torah is a davar ruchni. And davar ruchni, in a natural way, will not go into a davar gashmi. We find by Moshe Rabbeinu, Chazal tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tore him the Torah, and he forgot it again, and he forgot 39 times. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tore him the Torah every day, and he forgot till HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him b'matona. And the Maral is Masber. What is the pshat? At this point, Torah is a davar ruchni. It does not go automatically into a gashmi. We have a matana that even though we're gashmi, we can have the Torah. But there are degrees of gashmius. If our gashmius is too strong, then the Torah does not come into us so easily. Chas v'sholom, I'm not telling anybody not to eat normally and to enjoy eating and to enjoy everything. But there's a certain degree which is above that, which is not necessary. And that degree, any type of taiva of gashmius, whether eating or kedusha, when it's done too much, it steers the Torah. We find in this week's Pasha that Vayeshalach Moshe Eschosnoi, Moshe Rabbeinu sent away Yisroi. And the reason he sent him away before Matan Torah, Vayeshalach Moshe Eschosnoi, vayelech v'yaratzoi, Omar Kodesh Baruch Hu, Bonai nishtabdu b'titu b'leveinim. My children were nishtabdu b'titu b'leveinim. V'yisro yoshav loi b'hashkeit v'shalva b'atzoi. And Yisro was in his land. He sat with serenity. V'shalva b'atzoi. U'bo liroi simchas ha'torah. He could have simchas ha'torah. Klal Yisrael, ayidei zeh, that they had all the shibud, the Ramchal's masber, all the shibud made them less gashmi, and because of the less gashmi, they were able to have the simchas haTorah. Yisrael, who did not have this, could not have the simchas haTorah. For us it means, and this is the first point, not chas v'sholem to anybody to start fasting, but there's a certain degree which everybody knows about Gashmius and Taivus that is negative to Torah. And that's the first point, that a person will try to learn and be asmoda, but if not, if he's too much in Gashmius, too much, that's a steer. The second point, which we find also in Meseches Avos, Im ein derech eretz ein Torah. Rotzaloima Rabbeinu Yonah says, tzorach shetchilo v'taken es atzmoi b'midos toivos. The second point, midos toivos. Ubezeh tishkein ha'Torah olav. Then Torah can go into him. She'einu sherchenes, Torah will not go in to a guf she'einu bal midos toivos. Lo she'yilmo Torah v'achach yikach lo ha'midos, ki zeh yi efshar. You have to first midos toivos. And what does it mean, midos toivos? The shayrish of midos toivos is anova. Anova. And a gaiv is a steer to midos toivos. And a steer is to Torah. But a person thinks, I'm about gaiva. What do I try to have to gaiva? I'm quite worried about myself. I'm quite down on myself. That I'm not really successful. I'm not about gaiva. But in reality, it could be the very big Baal Gaiva. Baal Gaiva means lino v'sehilo. It's proper that I should have praise, be praised. I'm a special type of person. And if a person doesn't get the praise and he's down, he thinks he's an onav. He's a Baal Gaiva because he thinks lino v'sehilo and he's not getting it. How does one know if he's a Baal Gaiva or not? We have to see what did the Rishonim say. What are the simonim of Gaiva? Eino koyes. The person gets angry easily, yells, gets angry. That the simon has Gaiva. The person is makpid on somebody else. If he doesn't get bidyu come off the way he wanted it, he right away gets involved, gets angry at that. He can't take it if the other person, if his neighbor is a little bit different than he is and does certain type of small things which irritate him. He cannot take it. That's Gaiva. That's what Chazal say. A person who takes revenge, Noikim, that's Gaiva. And people say, I don't take revenge. But let me tell you a story. There was once in Eretz Yisrael a Shabbos bar mitzvah, and the father of bar mitzvah bought candies for the little children to have. The hechsher on the candies was a very, very good hechsher. But it wasn't the tap, but a tap hechsher. Just wasn't the tap, but it was a good hechsher, for sure. The children's zichesh, for sure. And then one person gave a clap, Rabbi Say, you should know that the candy that is giving out is from the hechsher of kach v'kach, and whoever wants to use that hechsher, gesund to hate. Of course, once a person made this remark, everybody took away the candy from the child, and he ruined the entire ruach of the entire bar mitzvah. And I heard the story. I said, tell me if anything happened from the father of this person, that he did anything wrong in the last year to this person that made the clap and was a big tzaddik. And I found out he was the gabbai, the father of bar mitzvah, and this person didn't get the aliyah that he thought he should get. He insulted him. He didn't get the aliyah. This was his revenge. He did not know about it. A person is a very important point in midas. A person can have a midah of the komer, and he's like him, and he thinks he's the biggest tzaddik. But if we work on midas and we know midas, understand midas, then we know where it comes from. And that came from the komer. We find a very interesting observation in the Kli Yakov, in Pasha Shmini, that he says that Klal Yisrael is a nation, from all the nations in the world, they're the worst in having machlokes. And he says it comes because of the machlokes of the shvatim, that they had machlokes, and there's a result of that. The kinna which was there. And he said a very interesting thing, that there was a kinna to Moshe Rabbeinu, and that caused the ego. People were saying, Ma Pitova, he should be the leader. And this kinna caused the ego. Now we know, the Chazal tell us they made a mistake. They made a mistake in the date. They saw Malachim taking Moshe Rabbeinu away. We see from over here, a person can have kinna and not realize it, that he has the kinna. And he can do things because of the kinna, but he thinks he's doing it because he made a mistake on the date. He thinks he's doing it because he saw all kind of simonim. That's what it means, midas. To know the side of the midas, where the midas come from, and learn who you really are. Are you a makana? Are you a noikim? Are you a kaisen? Do you forgive your fellow friend? Are you moida ala emes? All of these things indicate gaiva. All of these things I mentioned, Rishonim bring down, this is gaiva. And this gaiva stops, as Rabbi Yonah said, she'eino shochenes lo'olam guf she'eino bal midas tovos. A person can go around, I have no geschmack in learning. But the Torah is not sheichen in you. You're a steerer. You're a gufnis. You're a magushim. And midas also, you're a gufnis. You're not ruchnis. And therefore you have no geschmack in learning. That's the second point. Tanugim and midas. The third point is Yiras Shamayim. we have the Rabbeinu Yoina in Mishlei says a very, very important thing. In the beginning of Mishlei is a posuk. Yiras Hashem leishis das. Chochma u'musar avilum bozu. The Rabbeinu Yoina explains it. Yiras Hashem leishis das. Tchila is called das. Before you have any das, Chochma Satoira. Tilmoid lenaftercho yiras Hashem yizborach. Why? Ki ha-chochma va-musar avilum bozu. Chochma, Torah, and Musar, Evilim, people are bad, are mavaza, they make fun of it. Shein lam yiras Hashem, they have no yiras Shemayim. Ve'einam yikola b'neihem. If a person has no yiras Shemayim, Torah is not that important to him. It's not an important thing. V'lo tatzliach, Rabbeinu says here a tremendous thing. Lo tatzliach b'limud ha-chochma, a person will not be matzliach in limud ha-chochma, im ein lo yikora b'einecho. If the Torah is not choshev by you. V'lo tiskayim b'yotcho. V'ne'eman nochalti eidevsecho ki sofson li b'heimo. Rabbeinu tells us a tremendous thing. If Torah is important to you, it's only from yiras Shemayim. And the equation goes as follows. If you have yiras Shemayim, Torah becomes important to you. Because it's Torah Hashem, and you have yiras Shemayim. If Torah is important to you, what does it mean important? What's our purpose in this world? Our purpose in this world is to do mitzvahs in order that we should become dveikim for kodev like Kodesh Baruch Hu. The dveikus to our dveikus b'Hashem, boil mazeu, boil me'emes, is the tachlis of our world. And the way to get this tachlis from all the mitzvahs that there are, there's nothing similar to the Torah. The Torah is that instrument, that mitzvah, which gives us the greatest possibility of becoming Kodev HaKodesh Baruch Hu. The greatest possibility of being Mekayim, the tachlis, our tachlis in life, which is Kirvah Hashem, is through Limud HaTorah. There are many people who don't understand. Why must we learn? Why we can do other mitzvahs? Why dafka Torah? Many Bokram ask, why dafka Torah? Why not other mitzvahs? The answer is, because our tachlis in life is lidovik ba'kodesh Baruch Hu. Our shleimus is lidovik ba'kodesh Baruch Hu. And what is the mitzvah which gives us the greatest amount of dveikus HaKodesh Baruch Hu? Above any other mitzvah, and way, way above any other mitzvah. That's Torah. That's why Torah is so important. That's why we learn Torah. And we learn Torah again, Yom v'laylo. And we learn Torah our lives, Yom v'laylo, because the Torah brings us to our purpose in life. If a person knows how important Torah is, so when he learns Torah, sometimes the sugya is a shver sugya. You have no geschmack in the sugya from the svara. There's no svara in the sugya. It's dry cheshbonis in the sugya. But you learn Torah Hashem. You learn Torah Hashem. And you know how important you learn Torah Hashem. That gives you the satisfaction. They always have simcha. I remember Abban Zichron Levzocha. There was some sugyas which nobody spoke about. No Rosh Hashiva spoke about. With a lot of cheshbonis, dry cheshbonis. And he spoke, made cheshbonis, he made cheshbonis and cheshbonis. Because you saw, in him you saw the Abbas HaTorah was, you saw through and through in him. This is the third point. Yiras Shemayim. And that Yiras Shemayim brings the Chshivas HaTorah. And that Chshivas HaTorah brings the Simchas HaTorah. And Rabbeinu Yonah says later on that from this Simchas HaTorah, Yiftach Einei HaSeichel, Yiftach Einei HaSeichel, your mind opens up and you begin to understand things which you never understood before. That comes from Yiras Shamayim and Akshivas HaTorah. Those are the three things. L'mayit b'tanugim, liot noki b'midos, and Yiras Shamayim. And Yiras Shamayim is a hard thing in our world. With all the technology which there is, a new Yetzirah which Rebbeinu Shalom put on us, all the technology, a bochum must fight how much he can to limit himself as much as possible not to use any technology, because the technology can ruin the Yiras Shamayim. If you use the Yiras Shamayim, you won't have the Simchas HaTorah. This is the limit which we have to have. The Bach asks, why don't I have the Geschmack? That is the answer. Do these three things, you'll have the Geschmack. I'll just add one thing, which Rabbi Yisrael says. Sometimes it's very, very hard. Very, very hard. Rabbi Yisrael says, "B'zois halonei loida, ki odom le'omo yulad." A person is born for amelus. Lilchoi milchemes mitzvah, to fight the milchemes ha-mitzvah. V'achoi v'olov l'yisyageya b'avoyes Hashem, he's mechuyev l'yisyageya b'avoyes Hashem. V'loi rak lishmoy ma shetivoi menichoi matzmoi. Not only to learn and do mitzvahs according to what comes to him, Umashuktsas kvedus lazniach, and if it's a little bit difficult, he leaves it. Ki bezeh oifen, if a person lives that way, does what comes to him easily, does the mitzvahs that comes easily, he learns when it comes easily. Ein odom oived Hashem biznan oived Hashem, like a teva oiseh shalo. You go according to his teva. V'yuchal likolech halilo, he can be considered chas v'sholem a poinik oil. Kasher lo yiten shum yigia l'avodas Hashem yizborach. V'zois hu ha'yisoid me'avodas ha'odem l'boyer yizborach shmoi. Lishmoi v'lasois gam ma she'ein li boi chofetz. Ma she'ein li boi chofetz. And when you do Masha'en Liber Chofetz, the end of the day is that you'll have the Liber Chofetz also. But sometimes you must start off with an Ein Liber Chofetz. This is what the message I wanted to say to you. The three things for learning a Torah. And what Rabbi Yisrael tells us, sometimes you must do against what you want. Ein Liber Chofetz. And then you'll have the Liber Chofetz. And Rosh Baruch should give everyone, all the Bochum who are here and everywhere, should have that Satan D'Shmaya, and you need Satan D'Shmaya, to have the Yiras Shamayim, to have the Midas Toivis, L'mayit B'tanugim, L'smoyach im HaTorah, L'patach Einei HaSeichel, to know Kol HaTorah Kula, and bring Kvod Shamayim and Kiddush Shem Shamayim.
Shkoyach everyone for coming to Rosh Yeshiva. We ask everyone in that section to start going out.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.